Alright, so maybe this is where you're at. Maybe you're like me. That you, part of the problem is you don't make enough plans, or if you make enough plans, you don't follow through anymore. And where you are, it's similar to where I am. It's part of the reason you're not moving forward as much as you should. Obviously, I did not put out the video I was hoping right now. With Diva Shay, that's not on Diva Shay. That's on me, because I have not done enough to prepare for that. And maybe that's what I have to accept right now. As much as there's a part of me that really wants to move forward, there's a part of me that has not planned or followed through with my plans enough to have moved forward the way I already desire. Based on my desire, where I should be at this point, shall we say. And that's hindering me, because there's places I want to be in the next several months that if I do not take the steps that are necessary to get there, plan it out, and then actually follow through those plans, I believe there's doors that have been opened that will be closed, and probably closed indefinitely. And that would hurt. Because part of what I saw in my future, I delighted in. Oh, I had such delight in it. I was truly beginning to cherish the thought of my future. You know, here's the funny thing. When you get somewhere like I am, and maybe you are as well, you hit this low that you've never been to before, and nobody can understand how you got there, including yourself. I mean, even if you look and know what the actions are, and they do too, it's so contrary to who you are and how you live the rest of your life, that the fact that it became a reality is just like, what? People will question many things. That you don't love yourself, that you're not doing enough. The truth of the matter, a lot of those type of things could be factors. Or that you don't believe in yourself, whatever it may be. The one that nobody really seems to accept or acknowledge, though, and this is important that we accept and acknowledge, because, or for me, I have to, because others just are not going to. You can hit a point that you just don't care. And you get this point where you don't care to the point that it's not that you're going to be totally unrealistic about it, but it's a matter of the fact that you can't seem to find any reason to care. And for me, it's because I have made up my mind. I will not continue to live without love. I have accepted the fact that I may exist because of genetics and all signs, no matter how many times the doctors may wish something, like when they go in to check me and see if there's health issues, I guess, and standard checkups. I'll be honest, I get checkups whenever I go see a doctor. Not because it's time, but because of my appearance. It's going to happen. Because they're bound to tell me I got to have what? High blood pressure, diabetes, yada, yada, yada. 20, 30 years now. That's all I'm saying. It has varied over time, obviously, went up and down some, but we've already been over a decade at this range. Before that, range beneath it, over a decade. I mean, it doesn't change. Sometimes people win the genetic lottery. You know, I don't know. Look at you and your siblings, if you have siblings, or look at somebody else in your family, cousin or something. You know, I had a sister who won the genetic lottery as far as physical ability, as far as being an athlete. Poor thing did not win the genetic lottery the way I have as far as my health. What can I say about that? I don't determine genetics. But what I can say is this. Like I said, real living, I know what that is. I've done that. Would I like to live again? Yes, but I don't want to do it and just keep on running through it on my own. I think that takes away from what living is. Oh, if you did this, shut up. I don't need to hear that from anybody, and neither do you, right? They don't know. They don't know what you have done to try to obtain certain situations, like the better job, or the spouse, or whatever it may be. So no, I don't want to hear that. What I want is for you and for me to be honest with ourselves. Acknowledge what it is we have to have. And for me, I think everyone needs love. So now the question is, how do we obtain it? Could it be we're looking in the wrong places? That is possible. That I can accept. But even if we feel we've looked in the right places, then we have to look back and see why we didn't receive whatever it is, love or otherwise. Why didn't we end up, as some of my friends used to say, I was legendary with my starts. I couldn't close the deal. So how come I'm not a deal closer, yet I have a friend I went to high school that, hey, in his field, which is still an aspect of life, that's what he's known for. Closing the deal, man. So as we're on this journey back from here where we've gotten, how do we get back to where we were, or even better? How are we going to close that deal? And you know what? Here's the truth. I was speaking to a friend of mine about it. Like I said, let's put it this way. If I'm going to classify him as a friend, he's a good acquaintance at best. We don't hang out. But see, he's more than a friend. He's family. He's always been family. I grew up with him as family. I didn't hang out with him when we were younger. We don't have the same interests per se. But he's always been part of my family because my dad loved him. I mean, absolutely adored him. You know, when my parents started having bad health and such, and they passed away, who showed up? He did. He was helped move me the last couple. He has. You know? Does that mean he don't come hang out with him? No. That's not what we do. That's not who we are. But he finally listened. And so he asked, when he says, okay, well, if that's what you need a ride and die. You need someone to hang out with, whatever. How are we going to fix that? That's the problem. You and I can't. But it doesn't mean I can't. And it says, okay, then where do we look? Exactly. That's what we have to do. If you know what it is you need, if it's a job, because I have someone that I have a connection to and always will, we're not close either. Probably in part because of some of the steps I made along the way, we'll say, I'll take responsibility. Because I could have responded better, I guess. But because of where they are, and I don't know that they're ever going to be in a place where they can accept love again. I don't know. I mean, truly accept it. I can't say. But what I can say is this. Doors open for opportunities, and we have to be there. So we have to put ourselves in that environment. And yes, we have to be ready to get through that door. So I will give my family, my buddy, some acknowledgement in that. I think at times the doors have opened and I'm not quite ready to go through them. I want to go through them so badly, but by the time I get there, they close, or maybe it's not that close. I just don't do enough to get there because I'm just like, well, I'm afraid to go through it because I'm going to go through it and it's going to end up being the same thing. And so I don't push, and then eventually somebody else steps to the door, or it just closes, whatever the reason, it just never comes to fruition. Then again, sometimes I'm not looking for where the doors are open. I'm not putting myself in the right place that I can see them be open. Doesn't mean they're not opening all the time, but if I'm not in the right environment, if I'm not where I can see it, where I can take an opportunity and have that advantage of being the one that can go through that door. So what, it sounds like maybe this is rambling. No, what I'm trying to tell you is this. You are here, just as I am. And whether we want to accept this or not, I'm not going to say, like I said, there weren't some circumstances that we couldn't have controlled and that we got so tired of getting our feet knocked out from under us we just gave up, whatever. That I'm not debating with you. What I am saying is this, that the only individual that was in every moment of that journey that brought us to here, and whether it's, falling off a cliff or not, and then managing to stay alive somehow, Other Side of the Mountain, that was the name of the movie, Other Side of the Mountain 2, about an actual events that happened to a young lady who was an athlete years and years ago, I think in the 50s. I made a television movie about it when I was young. Anyways, the point is, if we do that, we manage to survive. What unfolds from there forward, like I said, whatever the journey was that brought us here, whether we were ultimately the catalyst, the major hand in bringing this to reality, or there were circumstances that we couldn't seem to control on some level, or just a string of bad luck after bad luck, or let's be honest, just life, that's what we call it, doesn't really matter at this point. What we have to acknowledge is the only individual that was there from the start to where we are now is us. That is you, that is me. And the only person we can be assured of on the journey out of this abyss is you can look in the mirror and count on that guy. And when I look in the mirror, I can count on that guy too, or I can't count on him. But either way, whatever becomes in my life, is up to me. The one called me. I read it a few episodes back. It's a poem I wrote years ago. I still believe it even if I don't always seem to practice it. Why did God say feel sorry for me? When I should have got up on my ass and made myself the best I can be. That's accountability. And accountability, like I've said always, starts with you, and it starts with me. We're accountable to one another, but we have to start by being accountable to ourselves and what action we're taking in our life to either change them, change it, change our lives, change your life, change my life. Or the matter of fact is, I guess, here's the truth. This is cold, hard reality. We need to shut up and quit whining and accept the fact that if we're existing and that's where we're going to finish it out, that's on us. That's hard right now. Because that's where I'm at. I'm trying to choose to either live or exist simply because I'm not willing to fight without a guarantee. It's like driving that car off that lot. You don't want to do it if there's not a certain amount of guaranteed warranty. That's what we want with relationships, and look how many of them don't work out, no matter what the nature of friends or otherwise. So I can't be guaranteed that I'm going to be loved any more than whatever it is. I can assure you, if you get up and you do this and you do that, you're going to close that deal and get that job you want. I do think attitude helps a lot. I do think preparation helps a lot. And I certainly know taking action helps. But are you going to be like my friend from high school who's a great closer because he does all those things? Or are you going to be right where I am still? Right here, right now. Because I'm not willing to commit anymore if I can't be guaranteed what I want. Yep. That's where I'm at. I know. So I want you to listen real close. I understand the person I need to say this to the most. But you can either choose to be in the exact same boat I am, or you can do exactly what I need to do. Grow up, accept that it's life, that nothing is promised to you, and move forward, because you're not going to have an opportunity if you don't. This is accountability. You go ahead. I'm not asking anymore, because that's part of our problem. We ask. We don't start pushing and closing that deal. I need you to like the video. I need you to go ahead and subscribe. I need you to turn on the notifications, and I need you to share it. And I need you to do that because we all need a community, and we all need this from each other to be held accountable. And this is accountability, and I'll catch you next time.